yathātathopadeśena kṛtārthaḥ sattvabuddhimān ājīvamapi jijñāsuḥ parastatra vimuhyati. A person of pure intelligence realizes self even by instruction casually imparted. A man of impure intellect is confused in trying to realize self, even after inquiring throughout life. Ājīvamapi. This is seen clearly amongst various devotees who have come to him for taking sessions till now in the last 13 years. Though sincere efforts have been put in by some of them, yet most of them have not been able to stay strong and devoted to their sadhana, their goal. Ashtavakra says it is everything to do with pure and impure intelligence. Impure intelligence is the intellect covered with vasanas and possibly with some desires, some attachments still lingering on. In such cases, even lifetime learning of Brahma Vidya from a guru may not result in getting subjective experience of self. Their mind and intellect would be surely pure and receptive while listening to the pour of their guru. But the actual challenge starts only after the Shravanam stage. You have been given this example of the tumbler of Tapovan Maharaj, where he asks Chinmaya for water, and Chinmaya brings in a tumbler. And Tapovan Maharaj says, "But I didn't ask you to bring in tumbler. I wanted the water." And the disciple says, "But I can give you only in this limited glass." Similarly, a preceptor or a guru can give only the essence in limited expressions. It is for the disciple to expand that essence in his nididhyasana and to go beyond all possible limits. After the disciples have attended a session and are facing the world, drawn into their family, their vasana, desire, attachment takes them to the objects of the world, and their attention is diverted from the session put to them. In the path of jnana, in their sadhana, one must be very intense in their nididhyasana and strive to get the glimpse of self within a reasonable time. If the required intensity is not there, then routine sadhana would continue, but glimpse of self would not have been attended, and gradually the intensity in sadhana would come down and the mind would get diverted to various other things. In this path, one's focus must always be on the goal of self-realization, no matter how busy their life may be, no matter where they are in this earth. Not even for a moment one can afford to loosen this focus. This path of self-realization is certainly not for those who can afford to devote a limited time for prayer or chanting or meditation. It is not also for those who can afford a limited time for meditating on the pose, on the goal, and spending most of their time otherwise in other pursuits, with no impact of the meditation being there in the remaining time when they are out of meditation and are in the world. What happens normally in this part? One goes through the sadhana chatushtaya, and then one is taken to a dimension which they have never ever experienced before. The dimension of pure self, Brahman, and they are told, you are that thou art. It is so fascinating and it is so lovable, and they start their sadhana under their guru. Initially with sadhana chatushtaya lit up, mumukshatva lit up. For some time, only session seems to be the purpose of their life. All other things seem to be meaningless. It is during this time that the intensity has to be so much that the glimpse of self should be experienced. Then there is no possibility of getting back into the samsara. But if this subjective experience is delayed and the required focus, required attention, whole time attention, inwardly, even if when they are acting outwardly in their life as per their dharma, if the undivided focus is not there and if the subjective self is not experienced as a glimpse for a few seconds, then slowly, the focus on sessions gets reduced and the world is ready to swallow you with its maya. And this is what happens. And they wrongly get into a sort of complacence when they see the outer world and they think we are far better than the outer world. But that is not the purpose of this path. You have to be better than the best. You have to go beyond the beyond. You have to eternally discover the self within you. settling for anything lesser than this is a waste of all sadhana which you have taken up till now. And in some cases, it is seen that the seekers, unable to engage in intense nididhyasana or disillusioned with their sadhana, which is not yielding results, and they even leave the path. Only those few who have rendered their mind pure, devoid of vasana, devoid of desires, and have accepted their Guru as their savior and approach with intense, unwavering Shraddha, are able to absorb each and every instruction imparted by their Acharya, even casual instructions. Being with a Guru, observing each action, observing the silence of one's Guru, contemplating on each word uttered by the Guru, devoting one's inner heart to whole-time contemplation of everything one absorbs in their Guru. All these things are only good to hear in today's world. They are not practiced by anyone. This is precisely the reason why more disciples are not reaching the goal of realization in today's world as compared to a century before. The disciples of Shivananda or similar masters in earlier times fulfilled everything that has been mentioned above with respect to their Guru, with respect to their Shraddha towards their Guru and his instructions. And hence, dozens of disciples became realized masters in due course of time. And they in turn went around and spread the mission of their Guru. Even among such disciples, realizing the self with casual instructions of the master as given in today's verse happens to one or two seekers, and it is not a miracle. They must have gone through their sadhana in their previous birth and might have reached the penultimate state in their path in the previous birth itself, and would have continued with the same in the present birth. And only in such rare cases, realization dawns with casual instructions of their master. That casual instruction might have been the final stroke for the seeker in his most advanced state already, where, exactly like the iron might have been beaten already 15 times earlier, and at the penultimate state, when the 16th stroke is given, the iron gets crucified and becomes gold, Bangar. His voice continued to be like this for he doesn't know how many days, but he preferred to pour rather than to stop. And he preferred to pour for whom? Swami Mas. Hari Om.